The new Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection, the Government of Ghana and UNICEF held a half-day consultative meeting with religious bodies and faith-based organizations on the 6th of May 2014 at the La Palm Royal Beach Hotel in Accra to discuss the forthcoming child and family welfare policy.
The Statistical Service has also conducted the Ghana Demographic and Health Survey, and it shows that we have fewer children dying from infant-related diseases. So it's dropped from 30% to, that's 111 per every 1,000 children who are born to 80. One critical problem is child labor, and it's very prevalent both in the urban and in the rural areas. So we have a child labor survey, also by the Statistical Service. We have 6.36 million children engaged in paid economic activity. So if our population is 25 million, and 58% of those are children under 24 years, and we have 6.36 million children engaged in an economic activity, it tells us what the situation is and paints the picture for us. So out of every 5 children in Ghana, 1 is engaged in some form of work which we can classify as child labor. Recently, our ministry was summoned to Parliament to answer questions on the situation of Kaya. And in doing research and in finding out, we realized that there were about 15,000 to 17,000 young girls on the streets who are acting as head porters, who have left home and are living on the streets. In terms of addressing these challenges, what has the government of Ghana done? So we've looked at different policy frameworks and also programs, but we haven't been able to coordinate these, especially with civil society, with religious groups, and that's why we invited you here today. We, together with support from development partners, especially UNICEF, have tried to find out how big the problem is, and we did a mapping exercise in 2010 to find out the true state of protection of children in Ghana. What are the strengths of the system that we have, and what are the weaknesses of the systems that we have? We realized that despite the strong legal framework we have, we are not enforcing the laws. It's only 5.3% of us who do not have any religion. And these are the statistics from the Statistical Service and from the population census of 2010. 95% of us are under the direction and guidance of a religious leader. This creates an opportunity for us to better protect our children, because we as the religious leaders can use our churches, our mosques and our shrines to preach about the positive impact better protection of children in Ghana will have on our development and on our future. And we commend you. We know you've been doing a lot of work. From where I sit, I see, I hear, I've engaged with a lot of you, and we're very grateful for the work. We want you to take a step, one more step, and help us implement this policy, because the situation is dire for us in Ghana.
I think this is time for sober reflection. I think it is time for each of us to know that there's much more we need to do than we've been doing before. We need to go back to our churches, go back to our shrines, go back to our mosques, holding evidence and knowledge, statistics, policy issues and so on, so that we can move a step further. Because we're hoping that we will have these platforms to engage, but we need information. And the minister has agreed that we will get copies. Thank you very much.
Christian Council of Ghana, in a bid to promote the welfare of children, created the Department of Human Rights and Gender, under which we work for the vulnerable. That includes women and children. In the last 6 years, we had worked in the area of child trafficking. We had also worked on worst forms of child labor. I was very happy when Honorable Nano Yelita mentioned the issue of child panels. And then I said that this is one of the areas where, for want of word, government is failing, because we have 275 districts, but we have less than 70 child panels functioning. Even in areas where they are functioning, they are not even known by the community, and the community is not assessing the service.
Honorable Minister Nana Oyelita, I want on my own behalf salute you for the great work you are doing. I've watched you, I've followed you. Against all odds, you have put your critics behind, and you are focusing on the vision and the purpose for which God brought you to this ministry. Your concern for the vulnerable, especially the children, is very noteworthy. I'm glad we have your speech. When we go home, we will continue to dilate on it. I am leaving this forum knowing that if I didn't know anything, now I know that we have over 17,000 children on the streets of Ghana. We need documentation. Every religious setting needs documentations on what we are really facing in Ghana about our children. When the minister was talking to us, he talked about how the children even know more on the tablets, the phones, than us. So what are we going to teach them when they are now teaching us? I just got a new phone 2 days ago, and I'm waiting for my son to come and fix some of the things on it. There was no light this morning, so he was able to just do one item, put my email on it. He said when he comes back, God willing, there will be light. Then he can put my WhatsApp for me. And we are supposed to teach them all. They now know more than us, so we need a lot of work to be done on ourselves. I was at a forum just last Saturday, and a lady said they were in Akosombo or somewhere, and they had to move to Accra because of difficulties. And so they were living in an uncompleted place, and the father told her that she should go and do prostitution so that they can make ends meet. So you see why we need a lot of work on ourselves. Our children are vulnerable. They make friends with people you don't know, and they are teaching them all kinds of things. I'm happy that many religious bodies are here represented today. Apart from our 9 sermons, we need to consciously create or make space. And even if once in a month, address issues on our children, especially.
We have a long way to go. We have to teach our children. You give your child a name, a respectful name. You let him know his creator, and let the child know why he was created. The protection of the child alone, both the Bible and the Quran, start from the cradle.
I see a lot of issues have been raised here, and I would say that the solution that we missed is the break or the breaking down of the extended family system, which was practiced in Ghana. I think I met a family where my great-grandmother was there, my grandmother was there, my mother was there, my aunties were there. My mother wasn't there. Not that she is dead, she wasn't there. But I have no cause to worry, because there are people to feed me, there are people to direct me, and I knew I had a responsibility to society, because everybody in the community will chastise you when you go wrong.
Recognizing the fact that the government of Ghana, UNICEF, and some religious bodies already have a history of positive partnership in Ghana on a wide range of issues that seek to promote positive outcomes for the most vulnerable children, families, and communities. We, the participants, comprising Christian, Muslim, and traditional religious leaders here present, do resolve and commit ourselves to 1. Speak out against all forms of violence against children, including child trafficking and sexual abuse of girls and boys. 2. Advocate for the prohibition of physical and humiliating punishment in all settings. 3. Clarify that cultural practices harmful to children, such as child marriages, female genital mutilation or cutting, are not part of religious beliefs and practices, and advocate for their abandonment. 4. Continue to provide material, spiritual, and emotional support to families who are struggling in the face of adversity and in achieving better results for children, families, and communities. Done at La Palm Royal Beach Hotel in Accra, Ghana, this 6th day of May 2014. Thank you.